What's up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here. Hope everybody is doing well, and wanted to do an updated video and talk about the characters, the top characters that you should be using your red star promotion credits on. So I'm going to be talking about your gold promotion credits, your silver promotion credits. I'm not going to be talking about your dark promotion credits because we know who those characters are, right? It's Morgan Le Fay, it's Rogue, it's Red Hulk, it's the Death Legendary Horseman, it's Apocalypse, right? We don't need to really kind of harp on that, but really want to talk about the characters that you should prioritize your gold promotion credits for in your silver promotion credits. I would also like to say this, like I really would like if some of these characters were actually free to play friendly so that you can actually get the yellow stars on them so that you could actually use your promotion credits. That would be one thing. And I would also like to see a little bit more consistency with characters actually being placed in the elite store so that players could actually use their promotion credits on them as well. But that's kind of a separate video for a different time or separate conversation for a different time. But let's go through the list here and talk about it. I usually like to do this every couple of patches or so, and we're going to be doing this in no particular order. But the first character to talk about here is going to be Shang-Chi. So Shang-Chi is such an impactful character, probably one of your better plug and play characters in the Marvel Strike Force right now. I definitely would say that he's still on this list, although he's been around for a while here, just because of the high damage potential, right? This ultimate ability, when you have the higher red stars on them, just does an insane amount of damage, 450% damage here, but then the 75% additional damage per positive effect. So targeting the right primary target just enables him to do an insane amount of damage here. Also, a special ability, he does a little bit of healing, and it's based on his max health. So 10% of this character's max health for other allies that are not heroes for hire. That also with higher red stars, you're going to be getting a higher health potential or higher healing potential out of Shang-Chi as well. And of course, right, you're using them in the skill doom raid, so there's a lot of impact there. Cosmic Crucible, he's great as a plug and play character. He's also a nice plug and play character as well with Secret Avengers, of course. Still, he was a plug and play character for the current Red Hulk Scourge event that's going on right now as well. Now, I got him to 7 red stars. I probably wouldn't recommend doing that. I really like Shang-Chi, one of my favorite characters in the game. I typically don't recommend even throwing 7 reds on any character in general. I don't think it's, I don't want to say it's a waste, but I don't think it's necessary per se. But because I really like Shang-Chi, and with 7 reds recently, I've seen him do like 1.2 million damage with his ultimate. So it's been a lot of fun watching him do that. But yeah, definitely for the other reasons, Shang-Chi definitely is warranted. I would say 6 reds probably is a good place where you can stop there. All right, the next character on this list to me is another older character, or a character that's been around for a while, but still has a lot of impact, and I would definitely recommend him for red star promotion credits just based on where you're using them, right? So once again, your skill doom raids, the Secret Avenger team with Kestrel and Shang-Chi are still your best skill doom raid team here in Marvel Strike Force. But Captain America Sam is really a cog on that team, right? Like he's the reason why the team is able to survive well because of the deflects. He also does a good amount of damage, especially when he has the offense up from Sharon Carter. That becomes impactful, right? It's 450% damage. That is an AoE. Can really give a lot of really high damage output there when Sharon Carter throws that O up on him. But really, for me, the reason why I would want to put red star promotions on Captain America Sam is just because it makes him a lot more tanky, right? And with his special ability where he gains a taunt, he gains a deflects, it just kind of enhances that by getting higher red stars on him, right? So and of course, like I said, those counters too, more damage you're going to get from that by putting the high reds on them. As you can see right now, my G16 Captain America Sam has a 1 million health. Of course, he has high armor too. There's a deflects. Just makes him a lot more tanky. Love getting that taunt on him in that last node for the skill doom raids where Madeline Pryor likes to yeet with her special ability. He can kind of eat that, right, based on the higher red stars on him. So for me personally, great character to put red stars on. He's really your key anchor of your Secret Avengers team. You're going to want to keep him alive. So therefore, high red stars on Captain America Sam, I think, is a good way to go. All right, the next character on this list here for me is going to be a Web Warrior character. So Web Warriors are your main bio doom raid team right now for Marvel Strike Force. We thought that maybe Gamma would be able to take on some of the load here. Maybe they might be good for one node, but so far we're just in initial testing. They get yeeted pretty easily there. your web warriors are still going to be your best team to use. And Ghost Spider is probably your one of the most important characters, if not the most important character. Case of Spidey, OG Spidey here, but one of your most important characters on your web warrior team. I like to prioritize characters, and you're going to see sort of like a trend on this list, right? Like, I prioritize characters that do a lot of damage, high damage potential, right? So Ghost Spider here is your biggest damage dealer on your team, I think, by far. This override stats raw damage, 57k damage. I think everybody else is under 50k. That's sort of in the same realm. My web warriors team is actually pretty big. They're like over 1 million. A lot of the characters have, I think, a minimum of 5 red stars on them, but I definitely promoted Ghost Spider to 6 red stars because I saw the damage output that she does here with the passive ability. Whenever her other web warrior allies get attacked, then she pings here with 250% damage. I've seen this now that I have her at 6 reds, ping for probably 500k damage, 550k damage there. So you're just getting that additional damage from her, and of course a lot of her abilities as well do pretty good high damage, and she also does apply negative effects. So the higher red stars boost her focus to make sure that she can land things like ability blocks and slows, because there are some times where things do get resisted. So the higher red stars on Ghost Spider makes it so that she's able to actually land those negative effects. So for me, biggest damage dealer on your team. You're boosting her passive ability, you're boosting her other abilities as well, because she does she's your biggest damage dealer on the team. I definitely think that she's worth putting your red star promotions on. All right, the next character on my list, I honestly don't even really want to talk about the character because I'm kind of just frustrated with the fact that he's not farmable yet in Marvel Strike Force, that the Eternals are not farmable in Marvel Strike Force. So it's like, I'm making these recommendations and some players will be able to do this, but not everybody will, right? But still, Icarus, I think, is a very good character to put red star promotions on. Just once again, this ultimate ability here, right? I prioritize characters that do a lot of damage because I go by the motto of try to kill them before they kill you. That's really kind of the way I go about doing things. So for the most part, I want to get higher red stars in the characters that have the most damage output, right? But yeah, I mean, we've seen this already with Icarus and his ultimate ability. If he can at least take out one character, then it will boost. Then he will go back again with the ultimate again. So for me personally, Icarus definitely stands out on this list. I think the Eternals, although they may, and to a certain extent, they're probably going to get phased out of Arena very soon because we're probably going to have a full Legendary Horseman team at some point in time with probably Emma, right? So therefore, they're going to sort of kind of start to lose their value a little bit, although we may still find the value there in Arena. But regardless of that, they're still very much used in every other game mode. Maybe not as much in Doom Raids anymore because of the Dorm whole team kind of holding that place. But in Alliance War, Cosmic Crucible is becoming a lot more necessary and impactful now. So I do think that you're still going to find value there of promoting him. If you can even get the yellow stars on him, I still think that he's a good character to throw your red star promotions on. All right, the next character I wanted to talk about on this list here is Spider-Punk. And another web warrior character here, using them in the Bio Doom raids. The reason why you could make a case for a lot of the other web warrior characters, right? There's Scarlet Spider, who you can say, well, based on the fact that his healing is based on a percentage of his max health, you could probably make a case that Scarlet Spider would be a good 6 red star promotion credit. Or Spider-Man, you know, because of the damage and being able to apply the negative effects, the higher the focus, then the higher the red stars, the higher the focus, gives better opportunity to be able to land those negative effects. You can even make a case for Miles as well, but I went with Spider-Punk and really Ghost Spider for my 6 red star promotion credits. I recently switched Spider-Punk over to Striker. This was a recommendation here based on Dorky Dad. Gives an opportunity here to be able to clear to more damage from Spider-Punk, but it also as well gives an opportunity to be able to clear some of those death proofs that are there in some of the enemies that are in these Bio Doom raids. So because of that, I wanted to maximize on being able to get more damage out of Spider-Punk by promoting him to 6 red stars. I have not regretted it. I've definitely seen a massive benefit where, once again, I used to kind of, there's a couple characters that used to die out in these Bio Doom raids. It still does happen, but I realized that I'm able to mow through a lot more of the boss node in the bio section and we do 3.2, so I'm not really doing like 3.3, 3.4, but I'm able to kind of mow through more of that that boss node and actually be able to complete the node without needing to go back in by having higher red stars on Ghost Spider and Spider-Punk. especially with the basic attack too. Like if he does the basic alone, 200% damage here, then he does the bonus attack for 300% damage, and then he does the striker attack as well. That's going to do some additional damage. So that's 3 hits on one character. It's actually really impactful, as you can imagine, being able to take down and mow down some characters, or kind of just picking them off one by one. So yes, definitely love the Red Star promotion on Spider-Punk, but I will say that you can make a case for other characters too on that Web Warriors team that probably deserve getting some Red Star promotion credits as well. Next character on my list, listen, don't throw stones at me here. This is more recency bias, and you guys know I do love, this may be a little subjective. I do like Thor. He's my favorite character in Marvel, period. So I'm always going to find a way to advocate for those characters. But at the same time, this is more recency bias because of the current Red Hulk Scourge event that we're going through right now. And the Hero Asgardian team, we've documented now as being the main team that you're going to want to use here for your Red Hulk Scourge run. They're the main team for Node 5. We didn't think that was going to be the case. But their main team for Node 5 and also for Node 10 as well. And a lot of that is because of Thor and this passive ability, because he's gaining so much charge and he's getting to this maximum charge often. He's able to do this quite a lot, right? Attack all enemies for 260% damage. And this is the reason why these nodes, for me, Node 5 and Node 10 has gone so smoothly. Like, I'll be honest with you, like for the Red Hulk Scourge event, Node 5 and Node 10 have actually been some of the easier nodes for me going through it. And it might just simply be because of Thor, and I have a semi-Red Star Thor. Now, I pulled this Red Stars for him. I didn't actually promote him, but let's be real, I probably would have promoted him anyways. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely getting a lot of solid damage right now from Thor. And I think that he's, if you care about Scourge, if you're really looking to push Scourge runs, I do think that Thor is a great character, a decent character to consider to put Red Star promotions on, just mainly for the Scourge event, because those are important to be able to get your stars for your legendary character. So this might be more recency bias for sure, but I realize that Thor has been really sort of kind of like the MVP for my Node 5 and Node 10 nodes here for my Red Hulk Scourge run. So that's it for me. Of course, it also boosts his other attacks too, making sure that he can land a stun. The 320% damage is amplified when you have the red stars on them. This is amplified when you have red stars on them. Some low cooldowns. The one thing I will say about Thor here is that he's very slow. So there's an impact there. But and of course too, like with this passive, he's also generating one ability energy every single time that he's max charged. So he actually gets to his ultimate a lot faster as well too. So yeah, it just, all of that just amplifies what Thor is able to do here from a damage perspective. Right, the next character on this list for me is the Squirrel Girl, another character that I really love, one of like my top 5 favorite Marvel character, but she's actually good in the game now, right? She was on the last list that I did here for Red Star promotional credits. She's back on this list again. The healing that you get, she's very plug and play. You can use her in a lot of different comps that you need, right? The Young Avengers team, by the way, for the Red Hulk Scourge event, they are definitely the priority team for your Node 4 for the Avengers section in Red Hulk Scourge. The Young Avengers are definitely the better team. I kind of sacked it with Bionic Avengers and then went in with Squirrel Girl here, but her healing is so much better, right? The special here, healing is so much better when she's, because it's 50% of her max health. It's so much better the higher red stars that you do have on her. Also higher opportunity and chance to be able to land some of these negative effects too, like the heal block, the offense down. That's also good. She doesn't do a lot of damage. That's not really her thing. Although she does do decent amount of damage actually. 42,000 damage right there, as you can see, 85 and 16. So it's pretty good still. But really overall, just because of the special ability here, the low cooldown, you want to be able to take advantage of that and have the higher red stars there, because she heals based on her max health. Definitely helps to have higher reds on her, especially being that she's a plug and play character. I run healer on her when I'm doing things like Scourge or Dark Dimension. Whenever I am running her on War Defense with the team, which I typically forget to do anyways, I like to switch her back to Striker because of course Miss Marvel. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think Squirrel Girl is still on this list for me here as a top Red Star promotional credit character. Next character on this list, first time making this list for me here, is Iron Man. The Bionic Avengers team, it's like Hulkbuster is your anchor to keep the team alive. Vision helps with negative effects. And then when it comes to damage, it's like Iron Man and Deathlock are the two characters that you definitely want to have high red star promotion credits on, right? Iron Man, of course, because I mean, it's all the damage is going to be amplified based on the fact that they have what is like 80% or 90% crit chance in these raids. You want to take advantage of that special ability here. I am considering T4 in this, honestly, just because it's only 50% extra damage, but it's an AoE attack. He gets us back pretty often. So there's a case here that, hey, I might actually T4 this too. He does a lot of damage. I think he's one of the highest damage characters, highest damage dealing characters in the game right now from like a raw damage stat percentage or perspective here. Obviously I don't have him at level 90 in gear tier 16. I probably won't get him to gear tier 16 for quite some time, at least not until I'm done with Red Hulk, Abomination, and Hulk here. I probably won't put G16 gear on him, but yeah, his damage potential is really high. Ultimate ability, 700% damage. If this crits, I've seen this say for once again like 1.2 million damage. It's insane the amount of damage that he can do here. So the higher the red stars on him, it's really the better off that your team is going to be, because you're going to be able to mow down the enemy team at a faster rate and then not really have to worry about, hey, sustain, right, as much. You'll still need a little bit of it, but the more damage that you have, the better off that you are going to be here as it pertains to actually being able to get through these Tech Doom Raid nodes. So Iron Man for me definitely shows up on this list. I do think too that you're probably going to want to have the higher red stars on him, especially for the Death Scourge event too. That's going to be coming up at some point in time, maybe in the next 2 months or so. So therefore the impact is there as well. Next character on this list for me, it's a Darkhold character. You can make a case for every single character on the Darkhold team that you probably want to put red star promotions on them. So I'm, for the sake of this, not flooding this list with a bunch of Darkhold characters, I do have Agatha on this list here. Love Agatha. I think she's great. She's absolutely fantastic and amazing. I would love to put red stars on her here. I don't even know if I really need to explain the reason why Agatha is a good red star promotion credit character. She'll get higher focus, she'll get higher resistance, she'll be a little bit higher in damage, which means that it's higher in health, which means that it will take away from a little bit higher health, which means that it's going to be harder for enemy teams to be able to kind of target her and try to get rid of her. And because she's just going to continue to proc with her passive too. So a lot of character players will want to probably try to get rid of Agatha so that she's not cloaking everybody else on that Darkhold team. I keep on wanting to say Dormhold and Darkhold. It kind of, is anybody else gets messed up with Darkhold, Dormhold? Two different teams, but it's a tongue twister for me. I don't know, it's whatever, but you get the point. But yeah, I mean, you can make a case for any Darkhold character. I like Agatha Harkness, so I think she's the second most important character on that Darkhold team. So for me, therefore, she's there. Actually very close to being able to get her to G17 as well. So we're gonna have to look into that very soon. All right, and the next character on this list here is Hulk. This one is with a little bit of an asterisk. Man, he's so tiny here. Let's go into the ISO screen and then back out. He's big here. All right. That's a little bit of a bug that I don't know what's going on, but if you want to see your Hulk big, that's how you do it. But this was with a little bit of an asterisk. I probably wouldn't go any further than 5 red stars on Hulk. Reason being, you do want, the higher the red stars, the harder it is going to be for him to get under 50% health. And you want him to drop below 50% health because you want him to gain the speed bar. You want him to have the speed bar fill, and you also want him to gain offense up, right? So this is kind of with a little bit of an asterisk that you probably don't want to get him to 6 reds. Maybe want to keep him at 5 reds here if you don't have him there, because I do think that you want to try to boost a little bit more on the damage side. Also, there's a case too that Healer is probably not the best ISO. It's probably Striker is probably the best ISO here for Hulk as well. Because once again, the Healer ISO will also kind of prevent him from at times being able to get below 50% health too. I ran Striker in the Scourge event, and Striker actually worked out a little bit better for me when I did that. I just ran Healer here when I did Alliance War. So that's the reason why you kind of have that here. But I do still think that Hulk is a character that you're going to want to at least put red star promotions on, at least at 5, but just keep in mind that you may not want to throw anything higher than 5 because you do still want him to get below 50% health. That's my logic on it. Could be wrong. Either way, we'll talk about it, right? Vision's on here too, This one is probably not as high priority here. I do like Vision because he's free to play. He's not a terrible character to throw red star promotions on. This ultimate here, because he's 300% damage. He's not a big damage dealer, but it's also applying the bleeds. Those bleeds will be higher damage based on higher red stars on him. But he's not a big damage dealer. But I also think that one of the reasons why he's not a terrible character for higher red stars is because you also want him to be able to land things like ability blocks or the higher the focus. He does get boosted focus here in in raids. So you may not need it anyways, but I do think that he's not a terrible character to put red star promotions on, although I probably wouldn't prioritize him. But he is a character, if you do have some extra red star promotion credits, that, you know, Vision wouldn't be terrible there. I threw Gambit on this list as well. The second biggest damage dealer on your unlimited X-Men team. Those pings are gonna hit a lot harder, especially when he's with Rogue, but especially if you have higher red stars on Gambit as well. There's gonna be higher damage output that you can get from him. Once again, I don't like the idea though of I don't like the idea that he's not farmable yet or something like that. So I mean, you take that with a grain of salt. And there's some other characters that are here. Deathlock and Hope Buster, we talked about these characters already. Deathlock, of course, being, you know, once again, higher damage. It's really Deathlock and Iron Man are really kind of your most important damage dealers on that team. Hope Buster here is really important for survivability of your team. So therefore, that's the reason why he's on this list as well. So that's it for me. There's some other character we could have considered. There's Spider-Man. There's Cersei that's there too. There's some other characters that are here that we could consider. We talked about Scarlet Spider, obviously Wong, Doctor Strange, Heartless. But that's pretty much going to be it. That's where we're going to wrap it up, guys. What are your thoughts on characters to promote, right, for your red star promotion credits? Like, who would you want to add to this list? Who would you probably take off this list? I'm curious where you would go with that. But listen, guys, appreciate you watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so that you know when the videos do go live. And then until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe.